Victory.
Good job.
We're recording. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Satsang. If you have a camera and it's not cut on, please do cut it on. I don't care if you cut it on and turn it to the ceiling or a wall or whatever, but it just, the darkness is just, Prue, hey, how are you? And I know, and you're just fine, dear, as you are. But if you do have a camera, and please cut it on. That would be very helpful to me. Now, let's go ahead and we're not going to, it's going to be too many people really for me to go around and say hello to everybody individually. So I'm just going to welcome you to this teaching, and I'm going to mute everybody right quick. There we go. Keeps our background noise to a minimum. And what we're going to do here is, like most satsangs, we're going to ask questions. Unlike many satsangs, I don't hold forth prior to. I don't tell stories, so it'll just be your questions asked directly and answered directly from here. If I don't know the answer to a question, I will tell you I don't know. If I do answer a question, I am telling you the truth to the highest order of my direct knowing. That's best I can tell you. So let's go ahead and take 2 minutes. I like to do this with folks and get everybody on the same page. I like to notice the sense of being. And when I say the sense of being, I mean that right now there's a sense of existence for everybody in the room. You just notice, well, you just notice that you're not dead. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Notice that you're not dead. And the way that you can tell you're not dead, that's the sense of being. Okay. So, so for all of the non-dead in the room, let us just spend 2 minutes and focus on the sense of being. Thank you. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. We have 3 hands up, which is a good start, but I'm going to just suggest that there's some of you who are going to want to make a comment or ask a question somewhere right around the end. And what I'm suggesting to you is go ahead and get your hand up now, because I may not actually be taking questions anytime over. Okay, so just do yourself a favor and me one as well. So Pascal, is that pronounced correctly, dear? Okay, so you need to unmute your microphone, please.
Hello.
Hey, yes, you're fine now. Thank you.
Yes, calling from France.
Oh, good. Welcome.
Hello, Fred. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to meet you.
One question only. It seems that there is still a me here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been searching for 30 years, like many people. But I think the problem is I still feel there is a me. There is a me.
Right.
And you see, just seeing myself on the pictures in Zoom, I don't like it. I feel uncomfortable. So there is a shyness, which makes me think there is still a big me.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you this. Who is it that thinks there's a big me?
My mind.
Oh, it's your mind. Can you show me your mind?
No.
No. So do you know that there is a mind somewhere? I know there's a brain. We can both agree there's a brain.
Yes.
But I think mind, when we say mind, I don't think we really refer to this. We're saying, we're just like thinking of something that this manages or whatever, right? So, and I'm not trying to trick you here. What I'm trying to do is help you. And the way I help you is with more questions. If I cut you off, it will only be because I'm working toward the goal that you have set, not because it's because we don't have time here to dance around, which means I'll cut you off. If I'm hearing something that is too far away from the point, I'll cut you off. Don't mean that, I don't mean that personally. It's just a time management.
No, I understand.
Good. So this, you said there's still a me. When did you first notice there was a me?
As long as I remember, when I was a child.
So there was a child, is that right? Now, did the child actually, has the child actually found a me anywhere? Or is it just been thinking there is one? And it thought there must be a me because everybody is referring to this unit and they call it Pascal.
Exactly. That's how I found it. Yes.
Okay. So basically what you're telling me, and just open up to this idea, what you're telling me is that you were trained to call that unit Pascal, right?
Yes, I was trained. Yes.
Yeah. And you're trying to train all of us to call it Pascal. That's the reason you have the little, right? Exactly. So the idea is that because I'm trained, even though you're trying to train me, and I appreciate the email and all that, but I don't train very well anymore. So I'm going to need more evidence. Actually, I will take any evidence of a Pascal, because see, when you tell me, well, let's just put it this way. If you had to prove that there was a Pascal, how would you do that?
There is a story that is my story. This is not anybody's story. It's my story.
When you say it's your story, who are you talking about?
This unit.
Huh?
This unit.
That unit. Okay. So that unit has a story. Did the unit tell you the story, or did you tell the unit the story?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think actually that your family told that unit the story, didn't they?
Yeah.
They said this is a Pascal, and as a Pascal, you just noticed that you like chocolate and not vanilla, and so you're now the Pascal that likes chocolate.
Yeah.
And then you've noticed you don't like heights, so you're now the Pascal that likes chocolate but doesn't like heights. And that goes on and on and on and on. So there's a constant refining of a Pascal character idea, but we still don't have any evidence that there's actually a Pascal, because you didn't ask for any, did you?
No.
No, like your mama just said, you're Pascal, and you said, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't ask her to prove it. So, are you absolutely sure that you, whatever it is that you are from my perspective, are you absolutely sure you're a Pascal?
From your perspective,
Oh, yes. So I'm saying that's from my perspective. I'm just saying, are you sure there's a Pascal? But you talk from your perspective because you don't know what my perspective is yet. Although I'm helpful.
I'm not so sure. No.
Perfect. Thank you very much. See, because the one thing that never works in awakening circles is it never works for a student to be sold on their own ideas, because, and this goes for everybody in the room who is not presently awake, because your own ideas are wrong. And there's no one over here declaring mine are right. There's just, well, there's just truth, and then there's not. And so I just would like for you to back up your truth. When you tell me that there's a story, is there a story about that unit?
Things happen in this life,
Yeah, this life.
Yes.
And is this life Pascal's? Seems like mine.
It seems like mine, yes.
Okay. And when you say it seems like mine, who's the mind that you're referring to? Is that Pascal?
This body mind.
The body mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Let's go back to the day of your birth. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the delivery room where your mother is. And what we can see when we go in the delivery room is that there is, I'm going to shut off my iPhone here. Betsy told me to do it, and I forgot how to do it one way, and I ended up forgetting to do it at all. I see. That's Meryl writing me, baby.
Okay.
So when we go to the delivery room, you and I are invisible. Nobody can see us, but we can see everything and everybody, okay?
Okay.
And now we walk into the delivery room, and I'm going to suggest that in the delivery room, we notice that all the excitement and all of the action in the delivery room is taking place around a doctor attempting to, or midwife attempting to remove a fetus from the birth canal, your mother's birth canal. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. So your head pops out, and the doctor can see your face. And what do you think the odds are right there, the doctor just stopped the procedure and said, "Hey, everybody, look, it's Pascal." Oh, it didn't happen.
No. He said this is the baby coming.
Oh, it's a baby. So it's not a Pascal.
No.
It's a baby. So you've been talking about the unit. Let me ask you this. Which arrived on our planet first? That unit or Pascal?
The unit.
The unit. You're completely right. I completely agree. That's very good. Now let me point out something. Given that unit got here prior to a Pascal, do you notice that is absolute evidence that whatever that unit is, it's not a Pascal, because it got here prior to.
It was all made up.
It was all made up, right? And the only problem being is that you believed it.
Yes, because I suffer. So
you believed it. The only thing being, when I say you believed it and you agree, you don't actually know the you I'm talking about, because you think that unit believed it. But the unit is a cadaver. It's an animated body. It's an animated cadaver. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the unit can't make any decisions on its own. I mean, you can tell because when the animating presence is withdrawn from a unit, well, the units just fall down dead, and they don't do anything after that. So it's not the unit that's really important. It's because if I withdraw the unit, if I was just magical and could take my little wand and pop you on the head and be done with the unit, what you are would still be here. But if I were to get rid of the animating presence, then if I get rid of the animating presence, what could exist? Without that sense of being, what could exist?
Without the sense of being?
Yeah, what could you tell me?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because without that sense of being, nothing can exist. I mean, no. It has to be known, doesn't it? Okay, so
yes.
Let's just check it. Let's just check again. I want to go back to this Pascal thing. It just, you know, what we're kind of doing, we're looking for a Pascal. And the reason we're looking for a Pascal is that you kind of think there is one, and I most certainly know there's not. Okay, so there's a discrepancy in our views. And this attempt is to bring your view in line with this view, okay? So the doctor couldn't see a Pascal, and you've already admitted that the body is not a Pascal. The body is a body, is that fair?
That's all, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Just like this cup of tea is a cup of tea. That's it. That's an object in our objective world, yes? So what is Pascal then? Since whatever it is, it's not the body. So what do you think it is?
It's like an actress.
Like
actress.
So it's an actress.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I watch if I look at the Academy Awards, I noticed that all of the actresses have a height and a weight and a volume. I don't know what they are, but I can see that there's a physical presence there. So when you say that this whatever this is, that's not the body, when you say it's an actress, actresses have bodies. This one does, yours doesn't, the one you're referring to. So in other words, if it was an actress, wouldn't it have a life of its own? Doesn't an actress require an energetic presence in order to be able to speak her lines?
Yes.
Yes. So we're talking about what's left when that energetic presence is gone. And you've already seen that whatever the body is, it's not a Pascal, is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the idea of an actress is a make-believe character. Do you see that?
Okay.
Yes. Do you think Pascal could be a make-believe character?
Yes.
Yes, but who do you think, given that, let's just say that Pascal is a make-believe character for just a minute, okay? Because that's actually my view. So if Pascal's a make-believe character, what are you?
I am.
What do you actually find here when everything else is gone, including Pascal?
I can feel the sense of being.
You can, that exactly. The sense of being remains, doesn't it?
Very much so.
So yes. The sense of being is actually the most primal thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far back as we can go.
Yes.
Is we can go to the sense of being. So is it more true, with the way you're seeing this now is proper? Now, the way that you're seeing this, I want to know, is it more accurate for you to report to me right now, I am, or there's a sense of being?
I am.
Is that right?
Yes.
How would you know that you are without the sense of being, dear?
Because I can feel it. It's a direct.
No, there's no sense of being. You're telling me the sense of being, that the I am is what's most primal. How would you know that? wouldn't you need the sense of being in order to confirm that I am?
Yes, I agree. Yes.
So the I am is not the most primal thing.
It's the sense of being first.
That's right, because it's dependent on the sense of being.
Mm.
So now you can tell me that you notice that there's a sense of being, and you can see there is a sense of being. You now know exactly what I'm talking about. Can you possibly describe it in words?
It's like a presence.
Okay, it's a presence. I'll go along with that. But tell me what the presence is like. Describe the presence.
This presence is silent.
Okay.
Without limits.
Without limits.
No time.
No time.
Peaceful.
Mm-hmm. So,
and it's always here when my attention is on it.
oh, so listen to the sage. So is that what you call Pascal?
No, nothing to do with Pascal. No.
Nothing to do with a Pascal.
No.
You don't call it Fred, do you?
No. could
That'd be foolish, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So let me ask you this sense of being that you're noticing. The reason you can't describe it is the reason that you can't describe it to me, because there is it beyond language?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So this presence is beyond language, isn't that right?
Oh, yes.
If you and I talk about this presence all day, back and forth here, just very lucidly, I mean, you're doing great. Mm. So if you and I just have a conversation about this, you expect the rest of the room's going to catch on?
Sorry?
If you and I talk about this sense of being for the rest of the satsang, do you just sit here? We just ignore everybody else because we just feel like that they'll be able to understand this, that they'll pick it up from us because we're talking about it. Does that make sense? I mean, have you ever been in the room where people were talking about awakening or realization?
Yes.
Yes. Did you realize at that time? Did you have the big realization at that time?
No.
No. So the people talking about it actually didn't help you that much, did they?
No.
Yeah, that doesn't work very well.
No.
It does work because, well, it either works because of that talk or in spite of that talk. I can't really promise you which. But what I notice is no matter what, that way doesn't work very well, does it? No. So if you and I sit here and talk about it, it would be ridiculous for us to assume that the other 38 people in the room would wake up from that talk.
Yes.
Yes, right.
Yes, I agree.
It's not going to be a spontaneous mass realization. Although there may be, last week on my Saturday satsang, the very first person that I talked to, she told me she'd been looking for the truth since she was 12 years old. She told me she was desperate, and whatever I could do to help her would be okay. Kind of like you. About you.
Exactly. I could say the same.
Good. Good. So when you say the same, tell me who it is that's saying it.
The urge to know.
The urge to know.
To see.
There is an urge. Is that Pascal's, yes. Do you think?
Yes. Sorry?
Is that Pascal's? No, it's not, is it? So have you ever heard that the seeker doesn't wake up?
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Many times. Did you ever think that the seeker doesn't wake up because there's not one? Now something's talking to me, isn't it?
There's not.
Huh?
There's no seeker. No seeker.
Yes.
Mm.
So there's no Pascal here. Do you see that?
Yes.
So what told me yes just now is not a Pascal, is it?
No.
No. So since it's not a Pascal, do you think there's any hope? And there's not a Pascal here. Do you notice that there's never been a Pascal here?
Yes, I noticed.
Yes.
Yes.
So do you think there's any possibility that I could wake up an imaginary Pascal?
No. Impossible. No.
So if that's impossible, you see that right away, don't you?
Mm.
So do you notice that you're beginning to see things that you've never seen right
Yes,
now?
I
Yes.
feel.
Yes, I know that. Isn't that great?
I feel a kind of freedom.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because you know what? You don't have to figure all this out. And you don't have to get it right.
Mm.
We're not in charge
No.
because there's no one here to be in charge, is there, dear? So when we talk about non-dual realization, whose realization do you think it is?
Nobody.
It's nobody's.
No.
They're so perfect. So it's nobody's. So you can notice that when, if I tell you, and if I tell the room, and I sometimes do this on videos and stuff in books, you know, I say that that nobody ever wakes up. There's not an awake Fred Davis. Everybody thinks there is, but there's not. You know the reason there can't be an awakened Fred Davis? Because there's no Fred Davis. Can you find a difference between what you're noticing that you are right now and what's talking to you? Are we different? I mean, I know we look different, the units look different, but are we different? If I take this silver ring, and I take my silver bracelet, God almighty, I'm calling everything a bracelet, and we take my silver necklace and we melt them down, then we could come out with a little thin silver bracelet, yeah? So the shape, the form of the silver would have changed, but it would still be the same silver, wouldn't it?
Yes, I agree.
So in other words, silver or oneness can show up any way it likes in a billion different ways, but it's all one thing. Because you can see there's just one thing, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Right, and you're it, is that correct? Wonderful, thank you very much. I would advise you very strongly to follow up with satsang, okay? Because what you're noticing, and everybody, just in case she's not clear or I'm not clear, what the so-called Pascal is noticing is that there's no Pascal. So there's no Pascal that can wake up. I haven't just woken up a Pascal. What has just woken up is awakeness itself. And when we say waking up, that's not right, because it wasn't asleep to begin with, was it, dear? Can you sleep?
No.
No. So how the hell can I wake you up?
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
You understand perfectly. I know you do. I know you do. So, so this is the reason that I'm starting to like the word realization so much. Isn't that more accurate?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And so when we talk about non-dual realization, we always think that it's going to be Fred and Pascal who suddenly get something new and get something more. And that's not right, is it?
No.
We just notice what is, would you say? So when we look at this this form of this particular, the content of this moment. We look at the content of this arising. Is that something that's constant, or is it something that comes and goes? Like this unit, it wasn't here 100 years ago, and God forbid it should be here 100 years from now. It's already falling apart, right?
Yes.
So these things come and go. Everything comes and goes, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Everything comes and goes. So let's see if we can figure out what is here already that does not come and go.
This feeling of being.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you're dead right on everything you're doing, okay? But I want you to see a little deeper, okay? You're already this is conventional enlightenment. And if I had any sense, I would just claim the victory and leave you be, but I don't have any sense. So when you go back, did that sense of being, do you remember being that sense of being or anything prior to the Pascal unit's birth? What can you remember?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing.
Nothing.
I can't either. So when we talk about this consciousness, and everyone says it's the one thing that doesn't come and go, it actually does. Because the reason you can't remember anything prior to the Pascal unit's birth is that the Pascal unit is required for consciousness to exist within relativity.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Good. Good. Very good. Very good. So there's actually this consciousness which is experiencing. There's this experiencing, but no one's doing it.
Okay.
You see that, don't you?
Okay.
Right. So we're just driving it deeper. I thought, well, you see what I'm doing?
Yes.
I'm just taking that little can and I'm just like opening it up like this. So there's this consciousness, and we can't remember anything prior to it, but the sense of being, how does it arise? There's a sense of being, but the sense of being is very quickly slurped up into I am. But I am, there's an I and an am.
Mm-hmm.
That which is prior to consciousness. Does that, we don't even know what it is, do we?
No.
We can't really talk about it very well, can we?
No, no.
No. But do you notice that there's something, can you feel something?
Yes.
It's prior to consciousness, isn't it? It's prior to the Pascal unit, right?
Yes.
Because the Pascal unit arose from something, even if the something was no thing. Because we don't want to confuse no thing with nothing.
Okay.
Right? Because nothing is nothing, but no thing means it's not a noun. Not a person, place, or thingy. Whatever that is, it's not an object. There's no object there. There's just nothing to talk about, is there?
Yeah.
But
okay.
That's your truest nature. This consciousness, that's your true nature. This is true until we see that. And then we see that this is provisionally true. I teach a lot of provisional truth, which means I try to meet people where they are.
Yes, okay.
And my sense was that there was a whole lot of what I call inner wakefulness there already, or there was the potential over there already for awakening to take place. Yeah.
Yes.
So it just needed a little guidance. Didn't take very much, did it?
No.
How long have you been a seeker, dear?
I told you I'm 63. I started when I was 30.
Oh, 50 years.
30.
Yeah. 50 years. You notice you've been walking in a circle?
Yes. Yes.
The dog's chasing its tail, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, this attention, would you agree with me? It's that attention might be spoken of as sort of intensive awareness.
Intensive, yes. Yeah. Awareness. Yeah.
Right. It's like a I can't think of the word I usually use, so it doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying. Yes. So this attention is actually focused awareness. That's what I usually use.
Okay.
You get that completely. Is that right?
Yes, it's right.
So what's been looking for awakeness all of your life?
Awareness itself.
Awareness itself. So in other words, the seeker is the salt.
The seeker is the salt.
Who's been seeking?
Awareness.
And what have you been looking for, dear?
Awareness.
When St. Francis of Assisi woke up, he told his disciples in an effort to clear them, which did not work, I sadly have to tell you. But he told them, this was St. Francis of Assisi, yes. And what he said was, he said, what you're looking with is what you're looking for. You understand that?
Yes, yes, very much, very much.
See that very clearly, don't you? Yes. So welcome home.
As I said, it's a feeling of freedom.
Yes, it is. It is freedom. It's not just a feeling of freedom, it's freedom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because a feeling of freedom would be whose freedom do you think it might be? And it's just freedom itself.
Exactly.
Yes. These units, they don't have anything to do with really much to do with it, do they? I mean, they don't have any control here. Let's look at this, because I think you see this very, very clearly. And I know that our conversation is helping everybody in the room. That's the reason I like to do. That's the reason I like to, well, bring somebody to realization right out front, just like I did last Saturday.
Yeah.
So, because it's what we find out through this teaching is that awakening is not difficult.
No, it's not difficult.
No, it's the simplest thing in the world. What's difficult is post-awakening, because here's what happens. I was going to show Brenda. Brenda is my only teaching student at this point. Glenda, God Almighty, I called her Brenda again. I'm so Glenda, please forgive me, love. I know you will. That's an old man muttering. So this jar, I can't see it in my thing, but you can see this jar clearly. Can you?
Yes, very clearly, yes.
And it's a clear jar full of colored balls, right? So realization is, guess what it is? It's a realization. Now, I've just noticed that you're in the room. I'm just playing, but say I just noticed you're in the room. Wouldn't that be also accurate to say I just realized you're in the room? Yeah. Would that take a big event of some sort?
Not at all.
No, and this doesn't either, does it? It can happen. It can happen because what happens upon initial realization is that it blows the top off the jar. Blows it right off.
It was always there. It was always here.
Yeah, it blows the top off. Look at me for just a second. But you're the jar. We're just pretending this, okay? Just for a moment.
Okay.
But let's say the jar is your body, is that conditioning. It is, there's no Pascal, but can you see that there's Pascal-ness? You're talking to Fredness. There's no Fred, is there?
Okay.
And I'll tell you a secret. Don't tell everybody else. There's really no teacher here, is there?
No.
No. No teacher and no student, is that
No
right?
students either. Hmm?
So there's teaching, but no one's doing it. No one's getting it.
Okay.
And you see this truth for yourself, do you not? It's plain as day, isn't it?
It's play, yes.
Yes. So for 50 years, you've been looking for this. And what was looking was the thing you were looking for, right?
Okay, yeah.
So,
Well, yes, when I thought it was Pascal seeking, it was not.
that's right.
Okay.
It was still here. It just thought it was a Pascal.
Yes. Okay.
Exclusively.
Mm.
That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Yet completely ridiculous.
Thank you very much. So I'm the straight man. I just keep feeding you the funny lines. we could go to Vegas with this act. So when we blow the top off the jar, do you notice that the colored balls are still in the jar?
Yes, the colors are still in the jar.
Because with realization, we come to see the truth through all the patterns that make up the conditioning of Pascal-ness. Do they just disappear?
No.
You think? No. Here's what I thought. I thought that I was gonna, when I first woke up, I had been hoping, that everybody was going to be able to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I think the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, we all do. But the conditioning doesn't disappear. Pascal is seen, Pascal doesn't disappear because there wasn't one here ever. There was only this. And we don't even know what this is, do we?
No.
So I don't even know who I am. I know what, or I know who I am, but I don't know what I am. I know who I am, but I don't know what that is. Yes, because, well, I mean, this is not other than me, though. You see this?
I can see that now.
Yes, right. It can't be other than me because there's nothing but me. And you can say exactly the same thing. Do you notice? That's not exclusive to any character, any unit.
Okay.
So isn't the secret of this thing, haven't all these years, haven't you been trying to wake up Pascal?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because you just knew what an awakening would do for Pascal.
I thought I could get rid of the suffering.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But, well, you can't get rid of what isn't here. And there's no separation, is there?
No.
So the only thing that we ever lose is the belief in separation.
Okay.
You get that?
Yes, I get
So let me tell you 4, and I'll share with the whole room, and then we'll get back to the jar. I want to share Fred's 4 ignoble truths. The Buddha had 4 noble truths. You should allow me 4 ignoble truths. And the first ignoble truth is, as human beings, we just make stuff up all the time, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And the next thing that we do after making this stuff up is, well, we believe it, don't we?
Oh, yes.
So we make stuff up. That's the first ignoble truth. And the second one is that we believe what we just made up.
Yes.
Yes.
It's true.
So, and the third noble truth, just is something to notice, is that, or the third ignoble truth, I like to say, is that we begin to suffer because we're believing what we just made up. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth ignoble truth is we come to spirituality to try to overcome the suffering we're experiencing because we're believing what we just made up.
Right.
Is that right on?
Yeah, it's right.
Yes, it's right on. Perfect. Okay. So if you didn't fully understand that, don't worry. I see that Kieran seems to have broken through. Last Saturday, while I was talking to the first lady, another lady woke up. She was the second person I talked to. And I started to just talk to her and immediately realized that she had already woken up. And I asked her and she said, yes, of course. So, but really, there's no individual that wakes up, is there?
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth. We just, I'll still call you Pascal if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
And you can still call me Fred. Who cares?
Yes, Fred. Yes.
We got to call him something, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, if we're going to pretend to be two and we're going to make up relativity, then we might as well use it.
Mm-hmm.
So when awakening occurs, when that first realization occurs and the top is popped off, what we notice is that just because this top burst off, the colored balls are conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth has been seen. Does that mean are they still in the jar, or have they been realized, been seen?
I understand.
So what we do, and so I want you to notice this little thing, because you'll see the difference very clearly. So we're not here to clear Pascal up, are we? What we're here is to clear Pascal-ness, the conditioning, the patterns, out. We're here out. Exactly. Right. So when we take a little conditioning out, do you notice magically that there's more clarity?
Oh, yeah.
And if we pull some more conditioning out, you notice there's more clarity?
Yes.
And that happens effortlessly. All we have to do is remove what's false. Isn't that right? If you remove everything that's false, then the only thing left is truth.
It's being. Yes. Okay.
And when we say it's being, but is that really true, or is there a sense of being?
A sense, yes.
That's where I stop. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying there isn't being or anything like that. I'm just telling you that it's kind of out of my league. But don't tell me all that stuff. But what I can say without the shadow of a doubt is that there's a sense of being. And there's a sense that I am, and I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm saying I can't tell you that I am, and I can't tell you I'm not. Either way, there'd have to be somebody here to tell you I am or I am not. And there's no one here to confirm.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay.
So philosophers and theologians throughout history have they've had one big argument. It's just the argument. And the big argument is what? The big argument is, I think, is do we have free will or do we not? Yeah, isn't that the big philosophical argument? Do we have free will or do we not? I'm going to tell you my question. It's not like theirs. See if it makes sense to you. Pascal, who in the hell are they talking about?
Free will.
That could have or not have free will.
They are talking about
They're talking about they're just making something up.
Yes.
And then saying, so I just made this up and it doesn't have free will the way I made it up. And the theologians make something up and they say, whoo, I just made this up and it's got free will the way I see it, the way I made it. Yes?
Yes.
But there's no one here to have free will and there's no one here to not have free will, is there?
Exactly. Yeah.
If I ask you, does Pascal have free will or not, you're just going to laugh in my face, aren't you?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. So the search of a lifetime doesn't mean there's more clarity. Don't misunderstand everything. When we wake up, we see everything that we can see. But what happens is that the clearing process, that's the hard part. The waking up part, I've been doing it for 9 years, one right after the other. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the hard part. The clearing is the hard part. And that's where I spend 80% of my time. There are a bunch of people in this room that are in a program called the Continuing Students Program. And every one of them had a meeting like this or either a group meeting where I was doing the same thing. And now everyone that's in Continuing Students Program is clearing. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, which means because you and I both know there's really not anybody in the Continuing Students Program because there isn't anybody here. It's not just you, there's nobody here and there's nobody here, there's nobody in the audience, is there?
Nobody.
No.
That's right.
So it's stupid to ask whether they're awake or not, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the truth is their awakeness.
Mm.
And it, as you said, it is awakeness itself, isn't it? Yeah. And so it's not a matter of whether you are or are not awakeness. Awake is the words wake up. That and I've used it. Hell, it's in the name of my website. I'm guilty as anybody. But wake up and awakening. And all of that, at least I did have the insight to put awakening clarity, because that's what we're doing. We're not waking up anybody here. We're waking up clarity. And what is it? And what is it that's waking up clarity? That's clarity, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
That's right.
So let me tell you, I don't want to threaten you. I just want to tell you this, the truth, because it's the truth of my own experience. When you see this, that doesn't mean that there's nothing over there to keep this. You know, that's one of the things is that there's no free will. What do I do now? What have you done up to now? I'm just telling you, set an intention to attend satsang so that this just doesn't become, a great afternoon with Fred Davis, right?
Okay.
Oh, Fred Davis can really do it for you. He did it for me. Let me tell you about it. And you can't.
Right.
But we just want this truth. You notice that you can only see this truth right now?
Yes.
So when people have told me, and I said it too, and I bet you did, I'm going to wake up soon. Can't happen, can it?
No.
You wake up here or nowhere, now or never.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Perfect. So I just want to make sure that that as I understand it, the necessary but ridiculous search for 50 years. Can you see? It can't be other than that. Is there any alternative to this?
No, there was not.
Never. So
No.
These units had to do everything they did, didn't they?
Absolutely.
So nothing is wasted.
Okay.
It took
Okay.
everything that the units endured. It's not that the units did it, but it took all of that, all of those trials to get the unit, to get the character which there is no character, but it feels like there's a character. But it took all of this in order for the ego, which is really what? There's no separate ego any more than there's a separate mind, right? There's no separation at all. But all of our searching and everything is just to wear the seeker out. When the seeker is just worn out, that's when it comes here.
Yeah,
it's tried all that other stuff.
That's the reason. Worn out. Yes.
Yes, and they will defend sometimes, even in the face of this truth. They will continue to defend their old position, and they think that I am a crackpot. But I'm not here. This is awakeness, and awakeness is not a crackpot, is it? No. So your search for who you are is over. The search for clarity continues in an unending fashion, thank God.
Okay.
Okay?
That's clarity I'm looking for, not awakening.
That's right, exactly. You're claiming your awakening, which means you know, okay, the awakening has happened, and whether I feel like I am awakeness or not, it's been seen. I was there in front of 50 people or 40 people with Fred Davis. And I declared I knew. So that has to be the truth, doesn't it?
Okay, of course.
So does that truth depend on your agreeing with it?
Yes.
It doesn't depend on what Fred thinks about it or what Pascal thinks about it.
No.
It's just true. Because there's number one, of course, there's no Fred or Pascal. Okay, dear. Thank you so very much. You've been a wonderful, wonderful subject.
Thank you.
I appreciate your giving me the honor of bringing you home.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Where you never left. You're so welcome. Bye-bye, dear. Okay, now here's somebody that I have spoken with before. And Sanmati. Hello, dear.
Hi, Fred. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I even hi to Betsy too. Nice to see her too.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Yeah, she'll.
Yeah, I've been following you on the YouTube. I've been watching all your videos.
Yes, good.
Yeah. So my question is like, even though there is a recognition very well,
yeah,
but still in some situation involves so much in experiencing, I forget it.
Oh, I see. So there's still conditioning over there.
Yes.
So when you say I still forget, who is that I?
Awakeness.
It's not Sanmati forgetting, is it?
Yes.
It's awakeness forgetting that it's not a Sanmati.
Yeah, but there is a strong belief in Sanmati.
Oh, so okay. So it's a strong arising. I mean, it just feels right. Okay. Is it true?
It is not true. That belief is very strong.
Oh, belief is very strong. Whose belief is it, dear?
Awakeness belief, my belief. That's what.
That's right. So does that change whether you're awakeness or not? That's this believing that you're a Sanmati.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to suggest that the only one who really cares whether you're believing you're a Sanmati or recognizing that you're awakeness, I think the only one who cares is Sanmati. Because Sanmati can see that there's no Sanmati very clearly. Fred, I understand this. I know that you have gone beyond this, but Fred, I understand this intellectually. I get it, but it's just not my experience all the time. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So you have already been through some things with me. So let me ask you, and you've been through some things before you met me. So have you, tell me, I'll just do it this way. Tell me, dear, how many things are going on? How many things are there?
I didn't get exactly the question. How many things are going on?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, so if you're
yeah,
not,
I mean, awakeness experiencing, I know many experiences.
I know. So the problem is that Sanmati is the one who's answering, I know. And I happen to know that right now, Sanmati does not know. You're getting it wrong because you're putting knowledge in place of direct experience. Because let's try it right now. So there's a very much a feeling that there's a Sanmati. It's not all the time, but you'll be seeing things very, very clearly. And all of a sudden you're right back in it used to happen to me too. So the first thing I want to tell you is welcome to post-awakening.
That's true. Yeah, as you said, it's clearing. That is really.
That's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, 100%.
Because when we talk about that, I said first line in my first book was, I just thought I'd go ahead and get the cat out of the bag right out front. So the first line says, there's only one thing going on. And then really, if we look at the non-dual teachers, I mean, Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, Nisargadatta Maharaj, his pictures here, and other teachers over there. So we look at their teaching, and we also can look at Christian teachings, and we can look at Buddhist teachings, and we can look at Hindu teachings. There are many Jewish teachings. The Jews are right up front about it. There's one God. The only thing they miss is that there's just this one God, and there's no reason to have altars to it and everything, and you can't say its name, and all of that. But the big deal is they leave one thing out of God. There's only one thing going on. Who is saying that? There's only one thing going on. Can you agree? Can you let's just check something for a minute. Let's pretend you were oneness. Okay, just play a game with everybody. We're going to pretend that you're oneness. Now you've seen into this, but I want you to see it a little differently. So oneness, I'll just call you oneness. Okay. So oneness, I want to help you see it a little bit more clearly. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay. And they may seem like silly questions, but these questions are not for Sanmati. I'm talking to myself now. So, but I'm going to use that body to do it. So, dear, can you find anything outside of you, oneness?
No. But body cannot do it. You said just now, I'm asking to that body.
You hear that? But body can't, but I got an idea, friend. Let me bring this up. I'm going to break the spell.
Okay.
How long have you been trying to wake yourself up?
Not awake, but clearing up.
Oh, yeah, but how long? But see, clearing starts with awakening being present. This awakening being present here right now. You have had an awakening experience. But what happens is that there are times when you think Sanmati had the experience and now she's out of it. I had it and now it's gone. I had it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is what I'm after. So you listen to my questions instead of you asking me questions, okay? Because your question's probably going to be pretty foolish and mine are not. I don't mean to be hard with you. I'm just like I said, we have only so much time here. So I have to be direct. Mm-hmm. So can you prove to me that you're not oneness? And that's what you sometimes think. Is it true? Can you prove to me that you're not oneness?
No.
No. So, and when I ask you, huh? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So that kind of points in the direction that you are oneness, doesn't it?
mhm.
Do you notice that oneness includes that body?
Yes.
But that's the body that's often left out, isn't it?
Mhm.
And when you believe that you are that body, that's when you believe that Sanmati had an awakening, and damn it, I can't get it back. I
Mhm.
used to be clear. And when the unit says, I used to be clear, that's an imaginary character.
Mhm.
The imaginary Sanmati talking, isn't it?
Yes.
See, because it's just like it was with the first person. There's no Sanmati, but there's a lot of Sanmati-ness. There are
Mhm.
patterns here, and they are identifiable and repetitive. And hell, we got to call them something. So you can call this Fred if you want. I'm called that Sanmati until you stop me. But there's no Fred here.
Mhm.
And there's no Sanmati there.
Mhm.
So oneness, can you find anything other than yourself?
No.
No. So oneness, check very closely and just forget how silly it feels. Oneness, is there anything in front of or behind you?
No.
Oneness, is there anything to the left or right of you?
No.
So oneness, is there anything at all other than you?
No.
And who's telling me that?
Right now, even there is a little bit character is
Okay,
also
stop.
creeping in.
What if you don't believe that? Do you believe in that
Yeah, if I
character?
don't believe, yes.
Stop.
I mean,
Yes, you do. I'm
yes,
telling you that.
that's what is happening, Fred, for me every day. I clearly
It's
notice.
happening for
I'm
you.
noticing.
Stop. I will not take any more of this nonsense.
Yes.
So that's what's happening every day to you. Who is saying
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Who is declaring that that's what happens to me every day?
Mhm.
Who's the me?
Me, that's what
What
ego.
happens every day to Sanmati?
Mhm.
Are you a Sanmati?
No.
So do you really care about Sanmati's little, I mean, does it really matter? That, I mean, it's nice.
No.
Obviously there is, as the first lady said, there is an urge to clear.
Yes. Mm.
But it's not, and it feels like it's Sanmati's only because you've been trained to believe this is a Sanmati.
Mhm.
And this is an untraining.
Mhm.
So I can't let the thing I'm trying to train to see that it's not a Sanmati talk to me as if it is a Sanmati.
Mhm.
Sanmati is not welcome to attend this meeting. But you are. You're very welcome. Matter of fact, there'd be no meeting if it wasn't for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So are you pretending to be oneness, or are you oneness? Are you the one thing outside of oneness?
No, actually, I am oneness.
Oh, you are
Pretending
oneness,
to
and
be
you're oneness,
Sanmati.
and you're having a belief. There's a belief path, a thought coming up that you're not oneness. Is that right? And you can grab
Yes.
that thought and you say, and you don't question it. It's your thought after all, so it's sacred. It's
Yes,
true,
yes.
and it's important.
Mm.
Is it true?
That's not true. That's what.
Is it important?
It's not important.
Stop. Don't say but. It's that but that's kept you in the place. You're in this place all along, okay?
Mhm.
So no, keep your butt out of this.
Mhm.
So what happens with thoughts is that when thoughts arise, we have two choices. Well, we don't really, but it will look like a choice. It will feel like a choice of an individual.
Mm-hmm. You mean to say, Fred, this is all spontaneous and
Look, what's happening is that I know you've seen the truth. You've seen it with me.
Mm-hmm.
But when the truth is seen, right after that, this is what makes the clearing so hard. Right after that, there's a spontaneous pattern, energy pattern that rises up. And it says, hell no, I'm not whiteness. And
it's so quick. It's so quick.
It talks to you. I know it does. It talked to me too. And it says, I am not a whiteness. I'm something that's trying to get awake. But did you hear the first woman tell me that there's nobody to wake up? Did you hear her say that? We'll check right now. What is it that heard her say that? Is there, because it sounds to me like what you've been trying to do is merge with oneness.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me ask you this. Look at this just logically. Okay. Mm-hmm. You tell me. I don't want to do all that, this telling. I want you to tell me. So, dear, I want to know, what can you find outside of oneness that ever could have a chance or a prayer of merging with oneness?
There is nothing. That's what, except my belief, strong belief.
No, stop. It's not, you're saying it's my belief. And when you say that, you're referring to something that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. Referring to the Sanmati character that you've made up. Mm-hmm. Make it up, you believe it, you suffer from it, and then you come here, right? Mm-hmm. So you will continue to believe that thought unless you inquire into it. So let's try this. Let me make some statements and you tell me, and then I want you to ask yourself these questions. You're a Sanmati, is that true? Don't you let some say, if you let Sanmati answer, I'm going to just click off.
No.
No, you're not, are you? So how did you find that out? You actually, instead of just allowing that thought to automatically come out the mouth and into the air, so that now you're confirming it. You've heard, now you've said it and you've heard it. Oh my God. And there's a Sanmati and she's not, and it feels like she's almost there. But how long has it felt like Sanmati is almost there?
It was very close.
Oh, it was very close. Tell me, what is very close to oneness?
There is nothing close, actually.
There is nothing close to oneness. So in other words, what you just told me was not true, was it?
Yes.
And it just came up on its own, didn't it?
Yes.
You didn't think that thought out. It just came. That is what I call reflexive conditioning. It's just conditioning rising to meet circumstance. The new circumstance is that the truth has been said by not only me, but you, that there's no Sanmati. And immediately, that's the new circumstance. And immediately the old just bled in conditioning arises and it says, okay, tell him yes, tell him, tell him no, you're not a Sanmati, or he's just going to continue to bother you. So, but that doesn't, and people do that, but that's not the way that you get clarity. We don't get clarity by just telling Fred what he wants to hear. We get, and I'm not accusing you of doing that. I'm accusing you of having done that earlier in the session. But I want you to recognize that there's no Sanmati here. I wouldn't waste my time on a Sanmati.
Yes.
I'm spending my time. Who am I waking up, or so to speak? Who am I trying to get to realize? Who is realizing already? Who is that? Well, it's me, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And who is the one that's coaching oneness?
It's me. Me, you, both, same.
That's right. So let's just check and see if we're on the same page. I think we are. Are you telling me that what's looking through those eyes is the same thing that's looking through these eyes?
Yes.
Oh, so it's not about the units. It's about the animating presence.
Yes.
And that animating, that sense, the reason you can state I'm not dead. We don't even know about an I'm, but as a statement, the reason that whatever you are, you know that you are not dead. How do you know that? It just is, that's the sense. It's just, it seems to be an unquestionable fact. But there's a sense of being. Does that mean the same thing as I am?
No.
Because I am is a statement somebody's making, no matter how non-dual it is. You know, so I am is always the cusp of it's the cusp of non-duality. And when I say it's not the cusp, it's the outer border, so to speak. It just means that the brain can't go any further, but doesn't mean that this thing here, this is 3.5 pounds of pink meat. This 3.5 pounds of pink meat believes it understands everything in the universe. Have you ever met a more arrogant 3 pounds in your life? Isn't this 3 pounds of finity trying to understand infinity?
Yes.
Yes. And do you notice that this is not understandable?
Yes.
So you do. This is what I was talking about with the first person that I was here today. I can't. God Almighty, I'm sorry.
Pascal. Somebody said.
Yeah. Pascal. I'm sorry. I just talked to so many. So I've forgotten what the hell my question was. Do you know?
Okay, the brain cannot hold that infinity.
It cannot
this
hold
finite brain.
The finite brain cannot hold infinity, can it? But what we can do is we can use the brain to behold infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you find any separation between who you are and this? Where does the dividing line?
Yeah, there is no separation actually.
There's no separation, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. And the one who knows that is not Sanmati. It's oneness or awakeness. It's whatever you want to call it, God. I don't care, whatever name anybody's comfortable with. But whatever the name I'm not comfortable with is Sanmati. Mm-hmm. It's not.
But these perceptions, especially the seeing, mm-hmm. that is the one very strong. It creates a separation. So
no, it doesn't. It creates. It
goes into the ignorance.
How about I tell you what's happening? Is that what happens? Is that a thought arises, and what you know what the first believed thought of everybody on the planet is every single time? I think I'm a Fred, or I think I'm a Sanmati. And the minute I do that, the butts start to rise, don't they? Did you notice that you started out with a question and you ended in a butt?
Yes.
Because, see, Fred, I understand what you're saying, but this thing I'm talking about is the exception. Is there an exception to oneness?
There is no exceptions.
Is there comparison to this? Any comparison?
No.
Is there any alternative?
No.
Is there a Sanmati?
No.
No. So, and what's seeing that now is awakeness. When Sanmati can see that there's no Sanmati, that's the bubble of self-reflection. And that's where you are. And that bubble of self-reflection, it can occur in post-awakening, or it can occur in pre-awakening. It doesn't make any difference. But when we get in that bubble, the problem is we go to get somebody to help us get out of that bubble, and they start helping the unit. Well, go sit some more. Well, go to the temple and just pray until you can't pray anymore. I'm not saying that these things might not be indirectly helpful. I think they are indirectly helpful. But is there actually a path to realization?
There is no path.
Because there's no realizer. There's just realization. And do you notice that realization, when we really accept that this is the truth, then once we accept that this is the truth, is there anyone to object to that? No, but there's plenty of conditioning that will. And there's reflexive conditioning, which is what happens when you tell me there's no Sanmati, and then you turn around and you say, but, or, and, it's just notice that there's that the truth is out of your mouth. It's coming right out of your mouth. And then you're clouding it over. Because the big brain over there, and I know it's a big brain. Everybody in this room's got a big brain. They're not that uncommon. So don't be so directly sold on yours. I used to be very sold on how big my brain was and how smart. I thought I was the smartest guy in the room. And the funny thing is now I notice that this is just the most ordinary thing ever. The moment that the imaginary Fred character that I believed in for 50 years, the moment it begins to think, woo, you know, because I get email every day and they're telling me, wow, I woke up from this and that and the other, and you're great or whatever. And the moment that I say, man, you know, all these people are saying it, I mean, can all of them be wrong? I believe I might be a little special. The moment that I say this teaching will die. You see that? Because you can't tell the truth. The only way you can tell the truth is to be the truth. And the only way you can, quote, see the truth is to be the truth.
Yeah, actually, when I as you say, like that notice, like being aware, when you very clear you're that, there is nothing to talk, actually. There is nothing to eat.
That's right. You're correct. So let me show you what's happening to you with this automated process, okay? Because what's happening is it's actually automated. So do you think this ring is pretty or not? So it just is as it is, isn't it? So in order for there to be oh, that ring's really pretty, I'm not saying we wouldn't do this in relative life, folks. I understand that there's a play going on here, which we've long been told, and you have a role. But what happens is that when there is this break into this clarity you're speaking of, it feels for all the world like, thank God, after it's over, because it rises, there's an experience. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? At the end of that experience, the overwhelming feeling is that, my God, I was awake and now I'm not. Yeah, like I had such great clarity. And who's claiming that awakening now? Sanmati, the same way Fred did. 1992. Had an awakening. Right after that, it was like, well, damn, I've seen the truth. That makes me feel kind of special. And, and that was gone because, see, there is no Sanmati, so there can never be a Sanmati that realizes. So what's happening in that moment of realization? There's not Sanmati realizing. What there is what I call, just because it's a word, awakeness. It is simply awakeness experiencing a Sanmati-free moment.
Mm-hmm.
And in the absence of what's false, the only thing that's left is the clarity that then we say it's Sanmatis.
Yes.
That's that, right? That's it. And now it's not Sanmatis. Oh, I lost it. I must have stepped on something on the sidewalk or something. I did something wrong. Held my mouth wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that I will always claim that. I mean, it's what we do. We claim that awakening because that's what we've been looking for so long. We wanted it so bad, and now finally here it is. And then the word comes up. How do I keep this? Is that actually silly?
Mm. Yes.
Yes, because how does awakeness keep awakeness? Do you think it carries it around in a little satchel?
Mm-hmm.
Awakeness can't keep awakeness because it is awakeness.
Mm-hmm.
And Sanmati can't see the truth because there's no Sanmati.
Yes.
There is only truth and imagination.
Yes.
And
yes.
just as Nisargadatta said, I say that this teaching is freedom from imagination.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I don't believe that you will find this teaching elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You will not find what's happening here elsewhere. That is what Nisargadatta used to say, and I thought it was arrogant, and now I'm the arrogant one. But I'm not arrogant because I'm not afraid, and not one the Nisargadatta.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes, perfect.
Yes.
All
Right
right.
now it is very clear. I mean,
Perfect.
yeah,
For who?
it's so
It's
constant.
perfect. It's very clear that for awakeness,
Yes.
the truth is being seen. Hell, there's no Sanmati. So all of this time, I've been trying to get rid of Sanmati, trying to convince Sanmati, trying to knock Sanmati on the head is silly because there's no Sanmati. Now I got to go. There's a bunch of people.
Yeah. Thank you, Fred.
You are
Thank you
very
so much.
welcome.
Nice to see you both.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was really nice for us to see you too, dear. Okay, we're going to go through, and so I'm going to answer as far as Birch, and then we will not answer. Then we will close. But I'm going to go with everybody that's got their hand up right now. You will be talked to. So I just clicked somebody's hand down. Who was that? I can't remember. Who was next?
Nidhi.
Yes.
Nidhi, thank you. Nidhi, come to the forefront. Thank you. See, Glenda saves me often in these things.
Thank you, Glenda. Well, hi, Fred. I'll make it very quick. And I know there are a lot of people waiting.
It's okay. You listen. This is occurring outside of time anyway, but I'll just say it just for the joke.
Okay.
Take your time.
Yes.
Now, what's your question?
It's not so much a question, but
Okay.
something that I would like to share. This happened a few years ago. It's still very vivid in my memory. It was a dream where I was running in a trackway, and the train was behind me and my husband. And then I push my husband, and then the train goes over me. And I'm in immense pain, like my body is in immense pain. But what happened was it gave up at one point, but nothing happened to me.
Yeah. That's right.
So I thought it might help, people who are trying to understand.
Yes, right. It's very clear that whatever it is we're working with here, it's not a body, is it?
No, it wasn't the body. I wasn't touched.
You were untouched. That's what I say. You are. You know why you were untouched? Because you are the unborn.
Yes.
So can the unborn be touched? Hell, it's not born. So was there ever a nitty that was born?
No.
No, there was a unit born that the parents trained you to call nitty.
Yes.
You bought that story and now you're trying to sell it to us. Well, I'm not buying. That's clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for sharing that. That's great.
And also what happened was, so everybody around me was crying and I was telling them, I didn't have the body, but I was still telling them, please don't cry. Nothing happened to me. I'm right here.
Yeah, right.
But they couldn't hear me, but I could see them and hear them and feel them without my body.
Yeah.
Because I also realized in that moment, but there was somebody seeing this, the whole thing happening. And in that seeing, everything was created because there was no husband of mine because I had created him.
You made it up.
Yes.
Awakeness.
Everybody around, I have created them.
There's not anything else to create them. But you didn't really create them. They just arose from you. Yes?
Yes. So I'm trying to avoid the usage of the word I because
the only reason I'm checking as closely as I am is because we're in this highfalutin satsang. If we were two people on the street, I would say, well, I'm going to the store because I'm out of bread. And I wouldn't expect you to say, who's going to the store, right? And I would answer you, oh, there's no one here. I don't know how the hell we're going to get bread. So we're trying to see this, what makes clearing, so part of the thing that makes clearing so difficult is that what we're really, part of what we're doing is we're learning to use ordinary language for the sake of relativity without believing it. And we could say that everybody else would say, well, Fred said that. Is there a Fred? Is there a Nidhi?
There is no Fred and there is no Nidhi, but.
See, now there's your butt.
Yes, there is my butt.
That's the butt that gets you. Get your butt out of this. Don't butt it. There's no Fred and no Nidhi. That's the truth. So just for the moment.
Yes.
In the absence of a Fred or a Nidhi, what do you find?
In the absence of, I'm always there. I can't say in the character's absence, there's still life. It's life itself is how I can put it.
That's right. Listen to the sage. In the character's absence, there's direct experience of this.
Yes. So
what happens is that we don't pay any attention to this because, oh, this is what is. And what minds are interested in, what brains are interested in is not what is, it's what we think about what is.
Yeah.
And so we spend all of our time in what isn't, which is this would be a pretty day if only. This would be a pretty day, but it's raining. It's a pretty day, period, whether it's raining or not. I mean, it's just a pretty is just a, it's not even a pretty day. It's we could say that within relativity, but it just is. All of this just is. There's just isness, isn't there?
Yes.
Do you notice it?
I get everything you're saying, and there is an understanding of everything that you're saying. And I feel for you sometimes because you're trying to explain about a place that it has to.
No. I'm not trying to explain the place. I'm trying to take you there yourself. You were there earlier. And then all of a sudden you went, well, this is way too free. Let me get nitty.
Yeah.
So is there a nitty?
So.
Stop.
Okay, there is no nitty.
Simple yes or no. Is there a nitty?
No, there is no nitty.
Can you stop right there? It's a yes or no answer, and you answered no. Can you own up to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no nitty here. So do you think that nitty can ever come to understand this when there's no nitty to do it?
No.
So, and awakeness doesn't understand this either. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea what I'm talking about. There's talking, and people seem to think, it sounds good to me, but there's no Fred that's doing it. And there's no nitty that's hearing it. There is no teacher here. This is not a teacher. This is a unit. The teacher is that. And you are that. And I am that. But we're already in the weeds because I said I am. What you can notice, there's a sense of being here, isn't there?
Yes.
You notice that sense of being?
Yes.
Yes, you can tell that you're not dead, right?
Yes.
So what that thing that tells you that you're not dead?
Yes.
That's the sense of being.
Yes.
So what can you know in the absence of this sense of being?
Nothing, but the sense of
Don't just stay. See, you answer the truth, and then you come right in and cloud it over. So what you said was, what was my question, dear?
it's always there. Existence is always there.
So it seems to always be there. So what were you noticing during your existence prior to the birth of the nitty unit?
I don't remember.
I don't either. But you know what? I don't remember a thing. Do you?
No.
Can we say that there was or was not something?
No.
Because it's whatever there is beyond is or isn't, yes or no. It's beyond all opposites.
Yes.
That's why you can't talk about it. In relativity, we have opposites. You know that this is a Fred and you're just dead sure this isn't, right? That's one of the ways you know this is a Fred is you can tell what's not Fred. But you can't tell me what's not oneness. What's not oneness? Is it anything that's not oneness? I mean, isn't that the reason we call it oneness? It's just one of them?
Yes.
So there's nothing outside of oneness.
No.
So what has been looking for oneness, so to speak, all this time? What's been looking for God or union?
It itself was looking for
It's
itself.
itself looking for itself, isn't it? Perfect. Now listen to the sage. So you'll understand this, and I hope some of the others will. Maybe everybody will. I don't know. So because I can't tell, if I don't talk to you, I can't tell where anybody is. Sometimes I can deeply suspect it, and sometimes I can tell you when someone is not clear, but it's hard for me to tell where I'm hiding. Okay. So what are we talking about? See, I don't do this. When this leaves, we're left with Fred, and you don't want to listen to anything he says. So there is no nitty. Haven't you been expecting nitty to wake up?
Yes, until I heard you one day say that there is no nidhi, and then.
So in the absence of a nitty, do you find anything other than this?
No.
Is there any more of this?
No, this is it.
This is it. There's a non-dual book named called This Is It. There's probably more than one of them, but I know of one. This is it. And when we're talking about that, this is it, what we didn't understand, and I didn't either, don't get me wrong. The reason I know all of this stuff is because I went up every blind alley that there is for 24 years. Okay, just So will Nidhi, tell me, how tall is Nidhi? Nidhi doesn't have any height at all, does she?
It's just a name. It's
just a name.
Yeah.
So it's an aftermarket thing.
Yes.
The baby comes, and then we want to dress it up a little bit. So we go to the store and we get ourselves a Nidhi label.
Yeah.
And we put that on our new car.
Yeah.
It's aftermarket. Which got here first? That body or Nidhi?
The body.
The body got here first. Do you see? We just don't see it. We don't see it. We don't see it. It amazes me. That is a declaration that whatever that body is, it ain't a Nidhi.
No.
And there's not a Nidhi to be found, is there?
No. It's just consciousness manifested in words, I may say.
Maybe it's playing a game or something. I don't know what, but it's going on. But there's just this consciousness. So the difference, what I want you to notice is that since I equate awake, well, I don't really, but just let's pretend. Okay, consciousness. Let's just say consciousness is God. And when I say awakeness, then I mean that thing that consciousness arises from. The thing that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
It's not because we want to keep a secret. We don't know the secret. We just know it is. And what that is that's the great potentiality. It's the nothing unto itself, but it's the potentiality for all of this, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know where that came from.
I didn't have a question, but yeah, it is just experiencing itself in various forms and names.
Yeah.
And
do you notice that if you'd had a question, it would have been Nidhi's?
Yes.
That's why you didn't have one. You knew there was no Nidhi when you got here. You just needed help seeing it so plainly that it became undeniable. Consciousness is in denial. And it perfectly happy that way. Most of the world is in denial of being awakeness.
I mean, what is hearing you right now is consciousness.
Right. And what's talking to you right now is consciousness.
Yes.
And there's not a you and there's not a me.
No.
They're two bodies.
When I say you are the I.
That's right. And when I say you are the I.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and there's nothing other than the I.
No.
No, nothing outside of it. So there's just this. Is there an alternative to this?
Not that it matters.
Is there? Where is the alternative to this? You think it's somewhere else? I mean, I thought this was it. Can there be a somewhere else?
No, everything is, there's just one thing going on to quote you.
So that's exactly right. Very good. So there's this, and there's not more. So in other words, once would it be make any sense for me to go back to Pascal now and say, wake up? She'd say, I'm already awake. I know. Wake up again. Wake up more. I mean, is any of that help? Because that will just confuse them, because at some point it's not impossible that Pascal could begin to believe that she's Pascal and not awakeness. because awakeness has two states, dear. There is conscious awakeness and there is unconscious awakeness. And virtually the whole world is unconscious awakeness, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, my neighbors are they're nothing but unconscious awakeness over there, but they're not jealous of this. They don't even want it. You know, if they know about it, they probably say that kook next door. Awakeness. Awakeness is very happy with that. Right. With its awakeness is very happy. I mean, it's not really happy. It just is. Has awakeness come to you and said, you know, I'd let you exist if you would just like fix your hair different? Awakeness accepts everything and everybody exactly like they are, because there is no alternative. So when we look at this, we can see that when we always heard that surrender thing, we always thought this was supposed to surrender to something else, didn't we? Yeah. Do you notice that all that has to happen for there to be absolute peace is for awakeness to accept relativity as it is?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Go and seek no more. But clear, continue to clear. Read whatever books you want, do whatever you want, because you can't not do it.
Yes.
Because there's no you.
Just a very quick shout out to this book and I've read all your books, and the Paul Brunton's book, Secret Search in India. It really helped me immensely.
Yes. he was the first person to first Westerner.
Yes.
To come upon Ramana Maharshi, I believe.
Beautifully illustrated, and yes, thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, I have that book. It's very good, and I don't mind you showing it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, read my books and nobody else's books, because I got the truth over here, and it's special. Thank you, dear. Glenda, come on in. You need to unmute.
You okay, honey? Do you need more tea?
No, I just need to drink the tea I had.
Okay.
Glenda, have you unmuted?
How's this?
There you
Okay.
go. Now the camera's on you. Good job.
All right. Hello, and hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. I'm feeling a little bit speechless
Oh,
after, which is wonderful.
yes. This has been a remarkable satsang. hasn't it?
Yes. I mean, this is the most amazing place to be.
Yeah.
There's something important to share. I think it goes along a lot with the theme of a lot of what the teaching has been today. So there's been a lot of witnessing of patterned thinking, habitual thinking.
Yes.
And
it's all automated, isn't it?
Yes.
We don't do it, it does us.
Boy, it's interesting. So I've been like really noticing it, knowing what it is. I mean, I suppose, given there's only now, I'm sure there must be pearls of now that I identified with it, I suppose. I don't know. But
do you need to know?
No, it doesn't matter.
Thank you very
much. It doesn't matter. But what I was observing was that the trap is, it's not just thinking that arises. Mm-hmm. I think most of us are aware of like thoughts and feelings are related. So there's this attending feeling that is generated from the thinking. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was noticing that would really be the trap. In other words, I could see the bubble of self-reflection going on about I feel sad, I feel this, or I, you know.
And the I is the imaginary thing.
Yes, and I noticed it, like all that of thinking that's arising, at least over here, it's basically, it's all like this chain of something being wrong or needing correction.
What's the second believed thought? First thought is I'm a Glenda, and the second believed thought is and there's something wrong here. And that's
So
the way it is with everybody.
Yeah, and there's been observing about it, and it just, as this is, I guess, where your commentary would be helpful, is that it just seems to me that unless the thinking is something that comes after inquiry, any other automatic thinking is worthless. It's all imagination. So,
pardon me for just a minute. So, folks, this is the reason that you hear me get up in arms about, you're not invited to this meeting, because what is coming out of the mouth is worthless. It just is for the purposes that we met here. It doesn't mean that I don't like you or anything like that. The people that I'm up here that I grapple with, I do it because I do it straight out of love. Do I not?
Oh yes. No, it's love, loving love.
Yes.
It's you know, truth reaching out to itself.
Non-duality is a little too polite to really point to the truth.
Well, they have to be nice people.
They have to be nice people. And I'm a nice person, but if you don't think so, I don't care. And if you wake up, you won't care because you'll suddenly think I'm the nicest person you ever met.
I do want to comment about like the subtlety of the thinking that arises. It comes and goes. So, but it was really important. I know that I wanted to say, in other words, even if the words of it shouldn't be this way, those might not be the words, but that's also the essence of that kind of those automatic thoughts that arise. I suppose I mean, there's no one to advise, there's no one to make suggestions for. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. If a lot of that activity of thinking is arising, then that's what's arising. But I could see how easy it would be to be in the bubble of self-reflection, because this is it. This is a thought, because it doesn't feel comfortable. And without asking to whom, or being aware of to whom, there could be the rabbit hole. You know, because that's, I think, the challenge, if you will, that's kind of been there, is like, whatever feeling is there, it just has to be witnessing of it, because or else
it's only the ego that can judge it as being wrong.
Yeah.
And I need to go to somebody else. Thank you, Lord.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You bet. All right. So, John, come on in.
Hey, Fred. Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Good, good and bad. Thank you. Couple of weeks ago, I had this nice little seeing with something you said, and you know, that was a freedom, and I couldn't really say anything about it. I just kind of wanted to stay there. And so for a few days, I had a non-separation.
Yeah.
Feeling.
So then you started believing thought again, didn't you?
And my ego came in and said, "Oh, I got this now."
Oh, but there's an ego, but is it yours? And what is an ego? How much does an ego weigh? I mean, I don't even think the very, very best, you know, I mean, I've got, you know, what do you call it? Neuroscientists as students, and none of them can tell me how much an ego weighs. Because
Right, yeah, it's a kind of a made up thing that I'm used to.
so and you're used to, and who is talking? The thing outside of oneness?
Correct.
Okay, can you be outside of oneness?
No.
So you're just lying.
Lying my ass off, yes.
I'm not taking any offense because I lied for a long time too.
Yeah, right.
So when you saw the non-separation, who was it that saw that?
The non-separation itself.
That's right. So when there was the experience of non-separation, did you notice a John?
There was this non-separation.
What does non-separation mean? And then you tell me if you saw a John.
Just the oneness.
Just the oneness. So so you're talking about a John that seems to be outside of oneness. Can it be?
Well, no, but John
Well,
isn't
no,
really there.
but now you get your butt out of it, okay? Because that's it. That's the secret. It's always but.
Oh.
What I'm telling you is that you tell me the truth, and then you come in right, and this is what you do to yourself. You tell yourself the truth, and then you come right behind it and cloud it, and you believe the cloud and forget the truth. Now, when there was an experience of non-separation, you told me it was the non-separation itself. Let us call that awakeness, just because we have a handle, okay? We don't even know what that means. Do you notice? Right? I'm just using it as a handle. The reason I use awakeness instead of awareness is that what I noticed is everybody was using awareness, and it was a throwaway term. Oh, he's talking about awareness. I've got awareness. I've got that all down. I've got it in my book. All right. And so awakeness just doesn't have that connotation. When we say awakeness, we're not really sure what we're talking about. And I think that's a much better place to be than the sureness of knowing. So during the experience of non-separation, how many non-separations were there?
One.
What was outside of that non-separation?
There was nothing outside of that.
Nothing outside of it. And was there anything other than that non-separation? Tell me the truth.
No, what was there? Ask it again, please.
So was there anything other than the non-separation? Was there like something outside of the non-separation?
No.
Something other than the non-separation? Just the non-separation, right?
Right.
Right. So, and you saw there's no separation, and you knew that to be the truth, didn't you?
I did.
And now you think it's a lie.
Oh no, I don't think it's a lie.
Oh, yes, you do, because you're
do.
Here. Yes, you do, because you're lying to me. You come here and you tell me I woke up, and you don't even know who the hell you're talking about. But I do. Notice that you told me that was the non-separation's non-separation. Then why is John claiming it?
I don't know.
I need whoever is Kasaba. I'll mute you. Okay, we were having noise, John. Say something, John, and we'll get the camera back to you.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
So, since it was non-separation that had the experience of non-separation, correct?
Yes.
Because there was nothing other than non-separation.
Right.
So, is there a John?
Not then.
Not then. Okay, so now is there a John? This is the thing. So not then, but now. But see, but not then is so what happened magically for a John to come back on the scene and claim I have had a non-separation experience? Did John have a non-separation experience?
No.
No. Non-separation had a non-separation experience. Awakeness itself had a non-dual a non-dual awakening. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So the only thing that can wake up here is what woke up then, which is the only thing there is, and there's no time but now. There's only now, there's no time. So it is awakeness itself. So I was explaining it another, then I went off on another tangent. But awakeness has two states. It can be in one of two states. It can be conscious awakeness, which is what's here now talking, and I think it's what's here listening. Not brightly, but it's here. That's okay. A break is the break. Clarity is what you're looking for now.
Clarity, yes.
What's being experienced in post realization. This is the reason you're having trouble, is you thought all this was going to disappear. But this comes out, huh?
Yes, I thought all that stuff was going to disappear.
Yeah, me too. I thought, when I first woke up, I thought, well, damn, this is it. I mean, give me my diaper and my stick. I'm going to the jungle. Where's my crowd?
Right.
But see, when awakening occurs, we know what can be known through that apparatus. But that apparatus ain't pure. And I don't mean pure like we think that people need to purify. I'm just saying that what happens, what we call clearing, we think we're going to clear up. But there's nobody there to clear up. The only thing that can happen is all thoughts of Johnness can clear out. What happened in that moment or that sustained experience was that awakeness itself became conscious of itself and noticed, hell, there's no John. And in the absence of what's false, the truth is all that remains. And that was awakeness itself. That was truth. It was truth experiencing truth. But you know what it wasn't? What it wasn't? It wasn't a John. And that was truth was having an experience of what? The absence of John. The absence of the belief in the character.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's belief in a character. But we are doomed to believe what we believe unless we begin to question what we believe. And that's what inquiry is all about. And that's where I spend most of my time. So I'm going to leave you with this because there's been movement over there today. We had a good talk the last time we talked.
Yes.
And we've had a good one today, have we not?
Yes.
Perfect. That's as good as it gets. Look.
Thank you.
Another ball out. Excellent. Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right. Kieran, please come on up.
Good to finally chat with you, man.
Yes, nice to see you.
Calling from San Francisco.
Good, great.
All right. No real planned script for this. I'll just start by lying to you.
It would just be Kieran's if it was. And you know I wouldn't allow it. So go ahead.
Yeah. I guess I'll just start with look, I could start with the lies and stories of saying past history of glimpses and stuff that's changed but hasn't changed and all that. And when I walk around, again, this is all a bullshit story. But for the sake of,
is it?
Say again?
Whose bullshit story is it?
The mine, me.
Oh, you.
Oh, me as it pertains to the character.
Oh, so how much does the character weigh?
I don't know.
How much does Bugs Bunny weigh? That's a character.
Don't know.
You don't know? I do. Nothing.
Oh, there you go.
It's a character. It's an idea.
Sure.
Can you listen to me go and clear all of these people right in front of you and still get up there and claim to be a me? Have you not been listening to this meeting? You still will look at there and tell me bald-faced lies? I'm used to people lying. That's a good thing. I did it for years. So I take no offense to lies. I just am tired of them. I want to talk to myself. So what if, with the first non-dual book that you read, did it say you're not the body? Did it? Probably.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines. Okay. And you immediately went bullshit. But there's something in here that's true.
Sure.
Yeah, because if you had taken it to heart that you're not the body, like right now, if you were to take that to heart, and believe me, this is true, you are not the body. What does that leave you to be?
I don't know.
Perfect. That's the perfect answer. I'm going to close this on that perfect answer. You just live with that. I don't know. And then you got to ask, who is it that doesn't know? Oh, I don't know. Just keep moving back. Keep questioning. Questioning. You came with ideas, leave with questions, okay?
Isn't that the mind just making more noise?
Which
though?
mind are you talking about? Whose mind is it? Bugs Bunny's mind? Does Bugs Bunny have a mind? He's pretty funny, he's pretty tricky, but he's just a character in a play.
Yeah.
He doesn't really exist. I mean, he's not in politics or anything. I haven't seen him as engineering anything. Stay with I don't know. And in front of that, you could ask, what am I really? And then you could tell yourself the truth. I don't know. That's the biggest favor you'll ever do yourself if you just work on that, okay? Like you come to satsang, there's promise. There's a lot of promise over there. So come to satsang. Anyway. All right, everybody, we are done and I am exhausted. So we are very much done, but I want to come back and see you. Is there anybody in this room that has an objection to this appearing on YouTube? Because it is powerful and it would be good to be shared with others. And it's just who's going to see it? A handful of seekers in the world. So thank you very much. That's what's going to happen. And this has been great. It's been an honor to be with you. I just thank you so much for your attention, because just notice that is the only thing of value that you actually have is your precious divine attention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you.